First Peter chapter 5 verse 8. And I read, stay alert.
Now tell somebody, stay alert.
Stay alert.
Shake somebody, say, stay alert.
Stay alert.
Hold somebody's shoulder. Kobe chain. Tap the person's shoulder. Say, stay alert. Shake the person. Stay alert.
Stay alert. Stay alert.
Don't smile. Don't smile. This is not smiling thing. Stay alert. Go.
Watch out for your great enemy, the devil.
Now, Peter said, stay alert. Watch out. There's somebody coming. Watch out. There's somebody coming. Now, let's go to Matthew 10:16. Stay alert. So let that ring in your head. Stay alert. Okay? Matthew 10:16. Oh.
Matthew chapter 10 verse 16. Look, I am sending you out as sheep among wolves.
Now look at this. Jesus is speaking. Said, I'm sending you into the wolves. I'm sending you into the wolves. Now, let this ring in your head. Wolves, then
be alert.
Stay alert. Amen. Be vigilant. Tell somebody. Be vigilant.
Be vigilant.
Today I want to talk about enemies. 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 This is one of my important subjects that I normally treat. But today I want to treat enemies. So we know who our enemies are and how we can get rid of our enemies. Amen. Amen. Tell somebody you have got an enemy.
You have got an enemy.
You have somebody. Peter said, stay alert. And Jesus also says, I'm sending you into the wolves. Now, the wolf is not your enemy. And he said, I'm sending you as what? Sheep among wolves. Now, sheep are food to wolves. They eat sheep. Okay? They move after them to devour them, to kill them. So wolves see sheep as food. Anytime a wolf sees a sheep, the wolf is seeing food. Dinner, meal, lunch. Okay? So Jesus says, I'm sending you into people who want what you have. Who want to destroy you. And these people do not play. The other verse that we read, Peter, he said, let me read from this version. Let me read from this version. 1 Peter 5 verse 8. Be well balanced, temperate, sober of mind. Be vigilant and cautious at all times. So write this one down. Be vigilant and cautious at all times. For that enemy of yours, the devil, roams around like a lion, roaring in fierce anger, seeking someone to seize upon and devour. I like this verse so much. Be well balanced. Be vigilant and cautious at all times. It says, be vigilant and cautious at all times. Every time. Morning, afternoon. Oh, okay, you have it here. Be well balanced. Be vigilant and cautious. So write that down. Be vigilant and cautious. True. Be vigilant and cautious at all times. It says at all time. It did not give a specific time that we have to pray and be righteous and be good at this certain time and not be good at this certain time. We need to be careful. We need to be vigilant at all times. Why? Because we might not know the time the enemy may be coming. There's something you have that somebody wants to destroy. There's something you have that somebody wants to destroy. The purpose of God. The plan of the enemy is to move after people executing God's purpose on earth. The plan of the enemy is to move after people executing God's plan on earth. So anybody fulfilling God's plan is an agenda. in the enemy's calendar. It's their number one priority to move after those who are pursuing and trying to fulfill God-given purpose. So this verse is talking to people who have taken their cross, people who have taken upon themselves to move after God's purpose. Not so if you've not discovered your purpose and you're not moving according to what God is saying about you, this is not your verse. This is talking to people who are doing what God has asked them to do. These are people who have taken their cross. These are people moving towards the purpose and plans of God concerning their lives. It says, the moment you move towards the purpose and plans of God, be vigilant and cautious at all times. Remember Adam and Eve, God has created beautiful people, beautiful couples, giving the man a purpose. Don't do this. Do this. What destroyed the man and the woman was because they were not cautious at all
times.
At all times. If they were cautious at all times, immediately the enemy spoke, they would have known Satan is coming. And remember, in the Bible, Satan came as a friend. He did not come as an enemy. Today we treat enemies. We are treating enemies. Satan did not come as an enemy. He came as a friend. Satan came as a teacher. So Satan said, did God really say this? No, you will not do this. For God knows that immediately you eat of the fruit, you will become like him. So Satan came to the woman or to them as what? A teacher and a friend. A good friend. Therefore I tell you something. No one can have access to destroy your life if they don't know anything about you.
Okay.
I get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We are treating what? We are treating enemies. Be vigilant at all times. Be cautious at all times. Listen, the enemy moves when you are not cautious. The enemy moves when you are not vigilant of yourself. That is when the enemy moves. So, in moments when you don't feel like praying, that's when you need to pray the more. That evening, that night, that you feel like waking up to pray, and something tells you are feeling, you are tired. Let me wake up. Let me give myself 1 more hour. Let me give myself 2 more hours. You have set an alarm to wake you up at 12, 2, 3, so you can pray. Anytime this alarm rings, then you put it to snooze. Or you end it. Oh, let me give myself 2 more hours. Let me give myself 3 more hours. Get to know that anytime you feel lazy to pray, you are not being cautious. You are not being vigilant. That's the time the enemy is going to come. The enemy is going to come when you are not at yourself. Remember, Satan came as a friend. If the enemy came as a demon, do you think the woman would have approached the devil to speak to the devil? No. There's no way the woman would have exchanged words with the devil if the devil came as a demon. Someone can say, Bosam, on your banner cocasawo, God in Mono, Uncle Bat said Kaka Motobia, Uncle Fish or Ban on Nebekasa, Dabi, or Bat said Adam form. Or Bat said Obia one young son. Look at this. Or Bat so be ordering. For God knows that the day you eat of this fruit, so the devil came as a teacher, a wise person. Somebody who is intelligent. I'm sure that wasn't the only conversation they had, but that was what was recorded to us. I'm sure they spoke for a very long time. And I'm sure they spoke for a very long time. Because you can't just tell a woman this and the woman just fall. No. They would have spoken for a very long time. And said some few things that the woman will feel comfortable around. Let's treat this. I've already said this here, but let's treat this. The 2 types of enemies. There are two types of enemies. The first enemy we'll talk about is the active enemy. The active enemy. Let's read Genesis chapter 27, verse 5 to 13. The first enemy we are going to talk about today is the active enemy. Now, let's look at this. Genesis 27, verse 5 to 13. Quickly.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 5.
Uh-huh.
But Rebekah heard what Isaac said to Esau.
Pay attention and listen. Mm-hmm. Read.
His son. And when Esau had gone to the open country to hunt for the game, that he might bring it.
Read. I said from 5 to 13.
Rebekah said to Jacob, her younger son,
be fast.
See here, I heard your father say to Esau your brother, bring me game and make me.
Now listen, let's jump to 8. 8. You are being slow. 8. Now my son, listen carefully and do what I tell you. Look at this. This person just heard it. She just heard Isaac saying to Esau that God do this for me so I may pronounce a blessing you deserve. Your right. That blessing was Esau's right. God do it for me. Let me pronounce or declare this blessing upon you. Somebody was there and the person heard it. But this person that heard it was not any kind of enemy, but an active enemy. Now look at this. An active enemy is always ready to move. An active enemy is the kind of enemy that acts immediately. This kind of enemy, they don't joke. Immediately Rebekah heard it that same time. Said, no, my son, listen. Your father said this and this and this. Now let's steal it. They went into action. And immediately Jacob was, they are always on the move. If you find these people at your workplace, the first day they look at you, they don't like you. They make an attempt. They don't rest. They don't wait. So active enemies, they don't wait to act. They don't wait to act. They just move to destroy. So they are at your workplace. Immediately they see you, they've gathered something about you. You don't know somebody. The first day you saw the person, you are talking about the person. This is an active enemy. We remember there was a time in the news that there's this pastor in Orlando, I think Florida, who got the Ghanaian pastor who shot the wife, Sylvester Ofori. How many of you heard that story? Shot the wife. Now, days after the shooting, he had gone into a fight with the girl's brother and told them that I'm going to kill your sister. Told the brother, I'm going to kill your sister. In a confrontation, argument. Said, if I don't kill your sister. Days after, went to shoot her. Active enemy. You want to exchange words with an active enemy? Immediately, they move. They are always in a hurry to inflict pain. Most active enemies are demons, witches, wizards. A witch can destroy you without even knowing you. They can just look at you like this and take something from you. They can just shake your hand and take something from you. They don't know you. You just meet them, they look at you and they shake your hand and they're taking something away from you. Witches on assignment. Wizards on assignment. If they gather under the sea with their meeting, and they plan what they are going to do to people, and they discharge them. They have discharged active enemies. These are people who inflict pain or harm without thinking twice. They can turn themselves into beggars. You give them your money, the next day, you've lost your job. Let me tell you something. Those of you like telling people about your good news, you might not know the person you are talking to. You might be talking to an active enemy. Listen, an active enemy, if he hears about anything concerning your life, that thing doesn't come to pass. Check your life. There's just one particular person in your life that when you tell him or her about something good, that thing never comes to pass. It's an active enemy. You tell him something, it doesn't come. At the papa bia ba brabon bia unya kapet na say there's an active enemy. Active enemies are dangerous. Why? Because they can kill you. Where do you find them? Everywhere. Where can you find them? Everywhere. Even in the church. Now, this man that killed the wife, he's a man of God, a pastor. So even the pastor can be an active enemy. So now, my son, do exactly as I command you. Active enemy. Ready to steal. Ready to take. The act. The verse said that immediately Rebecca heard it, she went to sleep over it. Or when Rebecca heard it, Rebecca went to sleep over it. Rebecca went and asked somebody, oh, please, this is what my husband said. So what should I do? No. Immediately she heard it, she moved into action. Active enemies are action people. That's why you need to be careful. You need to be careful the kind of people you banter words with. You might be talking to an active enemy. There have been videos in the traffic that someone exchanged words. Two drivers in one of these countries, they were exchanging words, and he got down. He pushed the guy. The guy just took a gun, shot him, bang, 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 on the street. Killed him just like that. Peter said, be cautious, be vigilant at all times. He might be an active enemy. You are driving, going somewhere. Someone crossed you. They double crossed you. They are driving carelessly on the road. Good Samaritan. You want to get down and caution them. You might be dealing with an active enemy. They might kill you. Am I talking to somebody? Are you happy you are here? Huh. If you know this, you will not mind certain people when they come looking for your trouble. Certain people can come look for your trouble just because they have something in mind and something they want to do to you. Moamote compound house obi tumi prana wa beboa no obi so do enim oprapa na hono wa beboa ni wura no wo obi do enim na wasesa wo. You know, they just want you to say something. They want you to say something. Who is an active enemy? They can be anyone. It can be anyone. The one who killed, he killed the wife. So you can move into a relationship with an active enemy. Am I talking to somebody? You can get married to an active enemy. You might not know. You speak one, they give you 30 slap. Active enemy. They don't wait to act. It's so easy for an active enemy to break up with you fast and move fast. They will not think twice. I've broken up with him or her. What did she do? What did he do? I called him, he did not answer. How many times did you call him? 2 times. Do you know a lot of people have moved into certain relationship, and because of this relationship, their secrets are out there, their information are out there. If you move into a relationship with an active enemy, whatever that goes on in the house, they go to tell. So you listen, you might be married to an active enemy. You might be in a relationship with an active enemy. You are there. Every information about you is out there. Everybody knows everything about you. Just for you, we now or new way dying, or new way dying. Okay, active enemy. They are everywhere. Listen, you need to be careful at all times. It's good I'm teaching you this. Listen, you need to discern people. And you be an what time also reply no. There might be an active enemy. Depend on the question. Ebi okuta seka won ho. Ebi okuta tu won ho. If you mind them, they can shorten your life. Best solution: be cautious, be vigilant, and stay away. Be what? And what? And stay away. Who say akwawe onye papa nsem misisi so a enye nya na papa enye obi o sha tare bia no papa anko bi o okuta microphone kan nya asem so obeku ne yire akoko ne yeso ampa nti yen nya na papa enye asofo nya so na papa. Let's do with this. Let's do with the second enemy quickly. Then I will give you solutions. Then, say. So the first enemy you have treated today is what? The active enemy. Today I'm not going very deep. I'm doing the shallow teaching today. Now the second, if we have active, then we should have what? Inactive. So inactive enemies. Now definition. These are enemies, but inactive. These are enemies, but inactive. Let's look at this. Luke chapter 22. Luke 22, verse 1 to 6. Luke 22, verse 1 to 6.
Luke chapter 22, verse 1 to 6.
Yeah, read.
Now the feast of unleavened bread, called the Passover, was approaching. And the chief priests and the teachers of the law were looking for some way to get rid of Jesus, for they were afraid of the people. Then Satan entered Judas, called Iscariot, one of the 12. And Judas went to the chief priests and the officers of the temple guard and discussed with them how he might betray Jesus.
Now look at this. At this time of this negotiation, Judas, he was still with Jesus. So that the final time that Jesus told him, go and do what you've been asked to do, or do what you want to do, Jesus sacked him from their meeting. At that time, before that, he had done negotiation, meeting. Judas was an enemy. at the same time a friend. Now I want to say this to you. Inactive enemies don't fail when they strike. Write that down. And don't ever forget this. Don't ever forget this. Inactive enemies, they are the only kind of enemies, if they strike, they don't fail. They don't fail. Might teach you something. They are enemies, but they are not active. They are not active, but they are enemies. Now, this particular kind of enemy gathers information to act. This particular enemy acts at the right time. He always looks for the right opportunity to strike, the right time to act, the right time to strike. And when they strike, they don't fail. Not even one inactive enemy has ever failed. They don't fail when they strike. Even our Lord Jesus Christ, an inactive enemy was among. An enemy but silent. When he was doing this negotiation, discussing with them how he might betray Jesus, he was still with Jesus. So he went, did the discussion for a while, came back, ate with Jesus, gone back, negotiation because of so no one in chain. Find the right time. How did they got to know that Jesus Christ was at this particular point praying? How did they know the location of Jesus? It was through Judas. And how did Judas know the location of Jesus Christ? Was because he was part of the friends of Jesus. Somebody who knew everything about Jesus. So let me tell you something. Inactive enemies, they come as friends, teachers, wise people. Wise people. Wise people. Now we know the best counselor, advisor of David, Ahithophel, he rose against. And that was the only time David became so scared. David became so scared that he even had to pray against it. For a man to pray against somebody, then he's scared. So for David to pray and say, Father, let the plans of Ahithophel be made foolish, it means he was scared. Why? Because this same person was the one advising him on how to win battles, and he was winning battles. This same person, he was an inactive enemy, but a counselor, an advisor. I might teach you something. Bob Marley said, your worst enemy could be your what? Best friend. So, how did your worst enemy become your best friend? They were already enemies, but they were active. They were inactive. They were not active. Let me tell you something. When a man is broke, and is down, this is when they move. So inactive enemies, they move when you are down. They move when you need help. Okay? They don't come to you when you are rich. No. They gain your trust. People gain your trust by helping you and by advising you, by calling you on the phone. Oh, let us wake up, let's do alpha hour. Oh, no. Get up. Alpha hour. The time is up. Get up. Listen, he could be your worst enemy. Because they call you to wake up to pray, doesn't mean they can't be your enemies. No. If a pastor who leads prayer can kill his wife, the prayer leader, the fasting leader, or whatever leader, they can be your enemies. Am I teaching something? They move into your life, and the first thing they do is that they gain your trust. So inactive enemies, they lie in wait. An inactive enemy can be in your life for 30 years, waiting for the right time to strike. Inactive enemy. Obetimi atena wo nchen awo abrabom obetimi ne wa di agro for 30 years. And some are striking. Why? Because when they strike, they don't fail. So sorry Musah oni kuko. Inactive enemies, they don't fail. They've never failed. Jesus did not escape. Yes. When to escape it? Jesus could not escape an inactive enemy. Do you think you can? No. You can't. No amount of prayers can deliver you from an inactive enemy. You can write that down. No amount of prayers can deliver you from an inactive enemy. Peter said, be cautious, vigilant at all times. He could have told you that pray at all times and you'll be free. No. Who got stoned? Is this Stephen, right? Now, Stephen went into a confrontation, argument with teachers. And after defeating them, they looked for a way to accuse him and got him stoned to death. If he was vigilant, he would have known that the same people he was doing the argument with were active enemies. He was dealing with active enemies, but he did not know. No amount of prayers can save you from me. Why? Because they move closer to you and they gather every information they need to know. So an inactive enemy can be a boyfriend, he can be a girlfriend, he can be a wife. A wife, a husband can be an inactive enemy. Listen, an inactive enemy can move to you, marry you, stay with you for 30 years, then strike you. Am I talking to somebody? Sure. Obia worry 25 years. Say si obana soreti abema no. Bema no so soreti oba no. Ama ejapade a abra bema no boy nyina no. Say si akoye zero ya ji bie fini sem. Ne brabo na nya ye kwa. Say aso wenyin ontimi ko bo no homodin ko yesa adwuma no biom. But wasting the time na ko. Obitumi worry 30 years. Na fe ohun say we share the bones samankasa. Am I talking to somebody? You can move into a relationship with a person for 25 years, 30 years, then realize that, oh, he was your devil. She was your devil. Inactive enemies. Now I tell you, inactive enemies are the most dangerous enemies one can ever have. Why? Because they don't fail when they strike. Active enemies and inactive enemies. But the inactive ones, they don't fail, so they are the most dangerous. One will ask, why is it that the same people who saw my suffering, the same people who I used to play Ludo with, Owari, when I had nothing, we used to eat Gary together. All of a sudden, they rose against me. The same people that knows my beginning. They are the same people pointing hands at me, saying I'm an occultic, I'm a ritualist, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Listen, you will never find your inactive enemy till you start to climb. Listen, you can have them around you. Inactive enemies, they have time. They have time. A pastor friend who came to my house some time ago, and when I saw him, I said, really, is this you? He said, who said Socrates? I said, yeah, this was a big man of God. Big man of God. Also, Frank, until the other. Now, I said, there was information about him. That his own wife also rose up against him. Listen, and some rape cases, whatever cases, up to date, he can't even go to UK again. Why? Because there's an issue there. And these people that are having issues with him were all around him. This that I'm teaching you today, but I'm more in Fidao. They were all around him. Listen, an inactive enemy is not an enemy you don't know. Active enemies can be anybody. You see? Active enemies, they can be anybody. But inactive enemies are enemies you know. You know them because they don't want to fail. So, Madam, sorry. Madam, say, let's do this. Let's do this. They show you care. They show you love. Listen, always be cautious and vigilant upon people who first come with love. Unimne da. Atade abechew. Ni papa o yasi o. Me pa me boy na kupon tie. Anytime anybody do anything good to you, ask them why. Ocho bronya dia obisa say why? Bibini de oche na me da ase onim obabia abaji akọ. Enkokunu. Onim obabia akọ bo ne pum de drink na de oh das nyame hira o. Nyame ma okwantintin so na ye di be kunu. Abaji akọ akonom be hye fridge mu na wanom ewu. Ombo bia ma ne nti owu kra ye hu ni pod de ble no. Won ye jimi. Can't you bia. Won de wa ye tuntum no. Sa na ya adwen so te. O hwe na ho de wa ye tum wo you know. Sa na ya adwen so te. Onye hu Ohuni papa bibini ohuni papa no ordinary. You might be hiding an inactive enemy, rather preventing him to harm other people. I don't want you to ever forget this. Inactive enemies, they don't fail when they strike. This is why they are dangerous. They are dangerous. They are dangerous. I'll teach you how to overcome them. I'll give you some few points on how you can overcome them. But first, I want to tell you who they are. Rose against the king, the counselor, the advisor, the wise person, the intelligent person. He was with him all this while, but had plans. They are with you, helping you to win. Listen, they are with you, helping you to win, but they have other plans. How come that the same people who saw me eating gari in the singing room, suffering, are now the same people saying I'm this kind of person? How come? It will get to a time that the people you call friends, you say, the same people you do those things with, a time will come that one of them may rise against you. It will shock you. It will shock you that your colleagues, the people who know you, they know what you're saying, they know it's false. But because of money, they will give you away. An inactive enemy don't fail. So if you have an inactive enemy in your life, get to know. You better get rid of them before they strike. That is the only solution. An inactive enemy. Listen, if they are in your life now, you better get rid of them now before they strike. And even if you get rid of them now, they will still strike a little, hurt you. But it won't be more like they've been with you for a long time. If they strike you in their own season and they're in their own time, you are dead, you are finished. So it's better for them to strike you now. Listen, say Siana minu baby ana minu obiano. Say obi ko come one say so for get If somebody rise against me right now and start talking about me, no blogger will take it. They will not take it. They will not mind. Now suffer Frank, now suffer Frank, now suffer Frank. They will not mind me because I'm not used. You need to know. You need to know this. When they strike, they don't fail. So, no amount of fasting and no amount of prayers can deliver you from an inactive enemy. First Peter 5:8 says what? Be cautious, be vigilant at all times. Be well balanced mentally, because they can get into your head. They can get into your head. You will feel like giving up. You will feel like giving up. But God said something. He said, every temptation that comes to you, our God is faithful that He is going to create an escape way for you. Say, these inactive enemies, if they strike, nothing can save you. The only thing God can do for you is to create an escape way. Listen, not to deliver you, but create an escape way for you to escape. When they strike, you must escape. You see, you can't win that battle. You need to escape. If that temptation comes, I will create the escape way for you so you can escape, not to engage in battle, because you will lose. They have you in their hands. They have pictures about you. They were the one that bought the abortion pill for you. They went to the same pharmacy with you. You told them the lady got pregnant, aborted it. Another one. They have all those information in their hands. They can finish you. They are in a hotel with you, holding their phone as if they are doing something. They are taking your naked pictures foolishly. Let your thing be bangling under your legs like you are talking to your wife. Nipe oni wo hotel onya wo yire so aso light gone and why you hu ni ana why didn't say boom ba 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 ade bechi dey din kwasasem din kwasasem ya din kwasasem pe na e be say no flash message, you know. We have something we call flash message. When you view it, it automatically delays on your phone. No, I don't know whether we still have that phone. It was Samsung. My name says, immediately you open it and watch it, it's off. Bank manager. What's our promise you buy? Only about chimpra our office. What to come on? We didn't pass them. And they won't say, or strike here and all good in massy. Or knock a court. So, manager or an inactive slave queen walked in. Beautiful, sexy looking girl. Attractive. And obi unim se warrior woma. Now, but because they are inactive enemies, They don't care. You can meet them at any point in time of your life. They are there right now. So where you are, they are there. You need to fish them out now. Be careful. Stay alert. Don't give certain proofs to certain people. They might use it against you tomorrow. Don't discuss your weakness with anybody you see. You just meet them. You are discussing your weakness to them. Oh, I did this. Oh, I did this. Complain it to God instead. Oh, I slept with this person. I did this mistake. I did this. I had an abortion. I did this. I did that. You are explaining it to people. Huh? I tell you something. That information is with them. Be careful who you trust. Be careful who you share your secret with. They might let you down. Listen, we have something called inactive enemies. These kind of enemies, they strike in seasons. And they don't fail when they strike. The only thing God can do for you is to create an escape way for you to escape. God, the shame will come. The shame will come. Listen, there's going to be a time that people are going to speak against me. People in my past. And definitely, some way or somewhere, some things will be true. And it will affect me. They have it. They will do it anyway. The only thing God can do is that He creates an escape way for me when they do. Nothing can save me apart from that. Be careful. That is when you should be more careful. Because these times you are more vulnerable. You talk a lot. Why do you think you ask people for help? They will not want to help you, but they want to know the reason why you are asking them for help. They will not want to listen. They will not help you, but they want to ask you the reason. And after telling them the reason why, they want to know more. Have you called this one? Have you called this one? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? They want to know every angle. What's happening in your life? Let me give you a solution and then we close. How to get rid of these enemies. I'll give you just two. Maybe I'll continue next week Sunday. 1. Don't feel too comfortable around people. I've always said this. God, the one who created human beings, said in Genesis chapter 6, verse 5 to 6, He was saying, I've regretted creating human beings. Even the God that created us says, I've regretted creating human beings. Do not be comfortable, too comfortable, because you only talk to people when you become comfortable. But the moment you start feeling comfortable around them, you start telling them things about you. The way I will see what's up no crown and yakono time pa. But you try to behave and eat smoothly. By the moment you start to feel comfortable around them, one, you've given them a certain information about you. Akwano did it so crano. You're giving them something about you. When pastors meet pastors, it will shock you what happens. I said, what? It will shock you what happens. A pastor meets you and go like, oh, and then the uncle should be here. And then the uncle should be one time I saw for Bisham, not the taxi. I said, Yanko fat girls in here. I saw for pastor. Then the uncle big girls in here. I was like, oh, they were dressing. I am not for whom I saw for the whom don't feel myself. I'm a pro. When you have someone you look good, they should to be a womanizer. When you talk to a lady, you are sleeping with a lady. You see, when you have to. But pastoral work has got to do with women. You chat with somebody, you are doing this. So when people look at you, they assume things. Don't feel too comfortable around people. Because he got me watching, I invited him to my house. What? Watch it,